Dad, you're not my coach. Mom, I don't want to speak about that right now. You have no idea what I'm going through in this sport. If those comments sound familiar, this is a perfect video for you. So, I created this video because recently my very dear friend had a huge fight with his son over the argument of the water polo. And here is explanation and a perfect video to separate a parent and the coach and to give you the four main rules for you as a parent. And this will help you a lot in understanding your role, and also this will help your kid and athlete at the same time to grow further in this sport. So, first of all, if you ever heard a comment, "You're not my coach," that is actually true. You are parent first, and then later all of the other roles, but definitely neither of those is including a coach. And it really doesn't matter if you played or you didn't play. In this scenario, you want to take responsibility for being a moral support to your kid rather than giving them any technical advice. So, how you can do and express your opinion is saying, "Hey, I think that in this and this way, you could have shot this shot," and then whenever your kid is responding to you, "I couldn't do it for this and this reason," you need to respect their response. And even if it is technically correct, maybe you want to point that out and say, maybe you would like to speak with your coach about those things, but you don't want to be strict and direct about the technicalities, because it will not work that way. They are not looking at you, even if you are correct, they're not looking at you as a coach, they're looking at you as a parent. It happened multiple times that the parents are actually correct in the feedback that they are giving to their kids. But still, for example, when the kids are hearing that feedback from me, which are exactly the same words, they will listen to it when they hear it from the coach. But when they hear it from the parent, it's not going to make sense for them. So be sure that even if your feedback is correct, that if you are being too strict and you're trying to be a coach, it's not going to work. The next rule that you really want to implement, and where you are playing the key role in the player's life and water polo career, is the consistency in the practices. What you can do is you can always make sure that your kid is coming to the practice, and by that give them the opportunity to make the maximum use of every single hour in the pool. So if they miss one practice, it really matters a lot because of their environment, because of the coach, and just because of their thought process of, maybe I can miss a practice. So really your superpower is putting in their mentality that there is no way that they can miss the practice, obviously unless they have the physical inability to do that because of the sickness or anything else. But what you want to do is to really try to bring them to every single practice that you can, and try to put them on that fixed schedule that they're never missing the practice, because if they miss it once, it's already a variable schedule where their subconscious mind is going to be thinking, maybe I can miss this practice as well. And also this is a good opportunity to put that discipline in their mind, which will be later implemented in the school, in the work career, and all of the other parts of their life, not just water polo. And also, when you are bringing them to the practice and when you are taking them off home from the practice, this is a perfect situation to be involved in their daily things that are happening. So ask them how was the practice, ask them what they were doing during the day, and what they're going to do today in the practice. And this is the perfect moment when you can connect with them and understand what's happening on a daily basis in their water polo life. Uh, you should be doing those things with other things as well, but we're speaking about water polo. So why I'm asking you to do this? Because you need to understand what is their role in the team. Are they part of the leadership, or if they are not? What is their role in the tactique? So what they're supposed to do? Are they shooters? Are they people who are bringing the assists to the team, or what they're supposed to do? Then who is their closest circle of friends? Because sometimes you can see that in the game they might miss a shot, but instead of the actual technique, there might be some background story that maybe they had a fight with one of the teammates, and the teammate didn't want to pass the ball, or anything similar to that. So you need to be understanding what's happening every day in the pool, what's happening every day in the practice, in their environment, so you can understand and solve some of the mistakes and challenges they might have later. Because if the background of the mistake is hidden in one of the peer problems, and you're not involved every day in those, you don't know who are the names of the friends that they're hanging out with in the practice, then it's going to be really hard to solve that. So make your life simpler and be involved every day what's happening. It takes only 5 minutes to ask what they were doing in the practice and to ask them about their current friends, and you want to have that open communication with them, and it will help them a lot in the water polo career. The last thing is really pressure and expectation. And what I mean by that is you cannot give the expectations and you cannot give any kind of the pressure to them which is made by you as a parent. So what you can do is help them set the right goal and help them understand how to set goals for the water polo or for anything else in the life. But you're not supposed to say, hey, you're going to play at D1, because maybe they don't want that, maybe they're not capable of it, or maybe they're just not part of their future. So you want to help them to understand how to set goals, but you don't want to set them for them. After the game, you don't want to be the person that they're scared of to talk to while they're going back home, because you had the expectation that they're going to score 5 goals, but they did not succeed in doing it. So you don't want to give any kind of the pressure or expectation for their water polo career. You want to give them the way that they can arrive where they want. You can, through the talk, ask them where they would like to be and kind of the assist them in making the right decision in that way, but you definitely don't want to do it for them. The next part is you don't want to compare them with anyone else. You will never say, hey, how this person scored 5 goals and you scored only one or zero. So the comparison is really a thief of happiness, and it applies to all the parts of our life. But as we're speaking now about the water polo, as I mentioned before, uh, don't compare them with any of the other teammates or the opponents, and understand that this is their sport, this is their life, and they can set the goals that they want for themselves, because they will be the ones who are going through all of the process. So what you really need to do is put a consistency in their life, learn them how to be disciplined, be their parent, be support for them through everything that they're going through, understand what they're doing on a daily basis, and be involved with the closest circle of their friends, understand what they're doing on the practice, who they're hanging out with what is their role, and at the end, help them to actually learn what they would like to make in this sport, what they would like to succeed in, if they would like to play in college, if they would like to play in high school. Help them to set the right goals for them. So in that way, they're going to make their own informed decision, and they will be following their own expectations, not someone else's. By implementing those four simple rules, it's not just that their career is going to have more straightforward path, but also the relationship between the parent and the kid is going to be much stronger and much more healthier and supportive to each other. So both parent and the kid will be way more satisfied with the relationship and way more closer to achieving the goals that both of the parent and the kid have.